Good evening. Glad you could make it.
I'm sorry. Have we met? I know you look like Darren, but
You have no reason to know what I am, or even who I am.
I don't?
No.
Oh. Are you... This is a dream, isn't it?
That's right. I have had to interrupt your dream flow to tell you some bad news.
Bad news?
About your friend, Darren.
You're Darren.
I have only assumed the body of Darren for this dream. I needed a familiar form.
Oh, don't tell me you sort of in your real form you've got 2 heads or something.
5.
5? Ugh. Anyway.
Enough of this amusement.
Amusement, is that the word?
An alchemist. John of Littleton.
Oh, John. Oh.
You know him?
Well, no, but I mean, that's the guy that Darren was waffling on about.
So you have heard of him?
Of course I have! Excuse me, I think I have heard of him. Darren sort of persuaded me to try and dig up something he'd left behind. This sort of...
Carving.
Yes, this sort of weird thing looked like it belonged to a church.
Do you know the emphasis on this carving?
Pardon?
It contained John of Littleton's mind.
Sorry?
John of Littleton believed he was a 12th century alchemist. He was experimenting in trapping his mind in pieces of metal. So he
I thought he was a 12th century alchemist.
He was.
He was?
This is vitally important to your friends.
What? I mean, so what? He went a little weird. He sort of got interested in myths and legends around Cornwall. I occasionally do that.
Oh, you have no idea, have you? This is futile.
What? Someone pops up in my dreams and starts ranting on about alchemists. Oh, God.
Trying to speak to a lesser being. It's never been my high point.
Oi! Don't you talk to me like that. Well, why have you brought me? I mean, I don't know whether you can sort of really count physical attributes in a dream, but I mean, why have you chosen me?
Because you are the only one.
I'm the only one?
Who was able to stop Darren. Yet you chose not to. So it's therefore partially your own fault.
What do you mean I chose not to?
You didn't do it. You didn't stop him.
I didn't stop him.
But yeah.
Oh, fuck
you had the choice. You had the option of stopping him, digging up the carving.
Why me?
Why you?
Yeah.
Because you are Darren's friend.
So?
You are the only one who can save him. You're the only capable one. You have the balls to do it.
What do you mean save him? This is I mean, what exactly do you mean is going on?
Fine, I'll explain. In 1183, in the town of Littleton. Come on. The alchemist John made an interesting discovery. He'd already found that with the power of his mind, he could warp metal into any shape he chose. And now he could place his mind inside metal.
It wasn't exactly the most comfortable sensation, but gave John the chance he always wanted. To live beyond death. He'd always felt chained by his lifespan, and he felt that he wanted to go beyond. So, he encoded his mind into a piece of metal, leaving his body to die. Then a friend of his, acting on previously given instructions, would bury the piece of metal in a field somewhere where it would not be disturbed. He would lie there for 30 years or so, concentrating his mental powers until the time when he was ready to escape from his prison. Then he would influence somebody close, infiltrate their dreams, force them to dig the metal carving up. He could then enter their mind and spend a little while stabilizing his mind transfer. After that, even though a great deal of his mind would not leave the carving, he would live again in the body of his host. He could change bodies however many times he liked, to live forever. Sounds a marvellous plan, doesn't it?
Sounds like this John of Littleton was totally mad.
Oh, he was. There's no doubt about that. Mad as a March hare. Unfortunately, he was very resourceful and powerful, as well as being insanely clever. He went ahead with his plan and it all went perfectly well, until he tried to influence the nearby people into digging the carving up, which contains his mind. He found that he didn't have the strength to do that. All he could do was project an image of himself to the inhabitants of the nearby villages, trying to get them to dig him up that way. Naturally, it didn't work, and the only result was that the legend of the ghost of the alchemist arose to explain the mysterious spectre that haunted the night. I suppose it was true in a way, but that didn't help John of Littleton.
So he was trapped in this piece of metal. What went wrong?
He didn't realise that the principal factor in the process that got his mind into the carving was the presence of Gorgrim's comet.
Whose comet?
Gorgrim's. Don't you ever watch any astronomy programmes? Gorgrim's comet has been in the skies for the past week or so, and it hasn't been sighted since 1183.
Since when the alchemist pulled his little stunt?
Exactly. Of course, he didn't know about this. He just kept on trying all the time, absorbing information he could get from the surface, building up a coherent picture of the changes in the world outside. He's someone who won't suffer from culture shock when he gets out into the world and starts his work again.
Just a minute. Are you saying that Darren's been taken over by this alchemist bloke?
At last, you finally grasped the bull by the horns. Proverbially, that is.
Just a minute. This is a dream, isn't it? How do I know that you're not just a sort of figment of my imagination?
You think that I'm a figment of your imagination? Right. You try waking up now. See if you don't believe me after that.
What the?